Charlie Kirk's assassination was wrong. Full stop. But if we're serious about stopping political violence in America, we need to talk about what happens next, and it may not be what you think. Political violence is an attack on all Americans' right to participate in democracy without fear. This principle doesn't change based on politics. It applied when Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered in Minnesota, when Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer, when Gabby Giffords was shot at a constituent event. Political violence silences voices across the spectrum and threatens everyone's rights. Here's what we can't ignore. This isn't random. We have an escalating pattern of political terrorism fueled by extreme rhetoric and conspiracy theories. Charlie Kirk wasn't just an innocent bystander here. He promoted 2020 election conspiracies. He helped organize January 6 transportation and used dehumanizing language about opponents consistently. This doesn't justify his murder. Nothing could. But we can't let his death be weaponized. And right on cue, politicians are transforming Kirk into a civil rights icon. Texas State Rep Jeff Leach announced plans for a statue on the Capitol grounds within hours of Kirk's death. Meanwhile, Scott Braddock pointed out something crucial. Texas hasn't memorialized victims of Uvalde, Allen, Sutherland Springs, El Paso, or Santa Fe. 21 people died at Uvalde, 19 of them children. But children don't get statues. Only political activists whose death can be weaponized, they get the icon status. But here's the real danger. Stephen Miller went on Fox News and made chilling threats about using the power of law enforcement to find you, take away your money, take away your power. He's not talking about prosecuting criminals. He's talking about targeting political opposition. This is how Kirk's assassination is being weaponized to justify authoritarian crackdowns. The Trump administration has been escalating ICE raids and police actions, and now they're using Kirk's death as an excuse to accelerate what they've already been doing. This is where Americans need to get comfortable with complexity. Kirk's assassination was wrong and should be condemned. His political legacy included promoting conspiracy theories that contributed to violence. His widow's grief deserves compassion, and her statements risk perpetuating dangerous narratives. We can condemn political violence while honestly assessing its causes. This nuanced thinking can be difficult, but it is essential for breaking the cycle. The contrast is stark. Melissa Hortman's murder got little national attention. Paul Pelosi's attack was met with mockery from many on the right. But Kirk gets instant martyrdom and statue proposals. If we only condemn violence against our side or only remember victims who fit convenient narratives, we're not opposing political violence. We're using it as a weapon. At its core, this is about constitutional principles. The First Amendment protected Kirk's right to speak and protects his critics' right to oppose him. Equal protection means all Americans deserve safety from political violence. But when we allow violence to be exploited as justification for authoritarian crackdowns, we're not protecting constitutional principles. We're abandoning them. We are at a crossroads, and the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just about political violence anymore. It's about how that violence is being weaponized to dismantle democratic institutions. When Miller threatens to use law enforcement to find you and take away your power, he's targeting political opposition under the guise of fighting insurrection. We can let Kirk's assassination become another excuse for crackdowns, or we can defend democracy. Here's what this means. Condemn all political violence while recognizing how it's being exploited. Support leaders who consistently oppose extremism, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it is. Build civic culture that can hold complexity and recognize the difference between political opponents who deserve respect and protection and those who exploit tragedy to dismantle democracy itself. The former deserve our protection. The latter deserve our fierce resistance. Give me a follow for more analysis that helps you navigate these complex issues with constitutional principles as our guide, because defending democracy requires citizens who can think critically about difficult topics and resist authoritarian exploitation of tragedy. That's how we protect freedom for everyone. Thanks, y'all.